equalising with Pogatetz. No call. Finley, down he goes. Now what's the referee going to give here? Finley taken down. Now did the referee see that as the last defender? There's certainly a free kick on the edge of the area, but what happens next as players from both sides surround the Canadian official? Higuain leading the protests, and no doubt the Columbus crew want a red card here. He's waving the protests away from both teams, and Dave Gantar has a big decision just ahead of him here.
We are in the northern end of North York, right close to Yonge Street. So we're, right in the midst of a very multicultural neighborhood. My husband is a really big soccer fan, and so when he moved here to Canada, we got season seat tickets, and then we started our own supporters group 3 years ago.
The rain's a bummer, but I'll take that over snow. It's supposed to snow on Saturday. Yeah.
I understand it's really difficult to play away and to not have, your own fans supporting you in those first few games. It's hard to watch on TV, and you can scream and yell as much as you want, but no one hears you except for my husband. I think that everyone's just itching to get back into BMO and get back into seeing the guys live and be right there with them.
This stretch of away games is kind of unique. I've never been a part of such a long stretch of away games, but just like you have a routine when you play at home, you have a routine when you play away as well, and I think the coaches have been doing a good job of setting us up to progress well through the week, through our practices. It's a couple days of practice and then travel.
Today's event is basically, what I've been doing is what we call a celebration of reading, and so they've chosen 10 books that we're supposed to read to the kids, and then the kids get to choose their favorite one. And so this year what I've done is I've gotten a guest reader in for every different story. And so we were just really lucky that this worked out and the timing worked out that we could have Justin come in and read the story to the kids.
Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. I want to keep your coat up. It's very warm downstairs.
Oh,
So I apologize.
I like warm. It's better than cold. Well, I'm from Cleveland, but I was living in California.
From the conversations I've had about Justin is, he has a degree, he went to university. It was a very important part of his life, and I think that that's important for the kids to understand too, is that it's great to be a professional athlete, but education is also very important.
So don't turn around and look away from me. Just keep it on me.
To have that balance, I think, is not always there with professional athletes, but he definitely has that quality. I hope that he enjoys it and that he can get down to the kids' level and the kids can really take away some good things from him.
Watching, and so there's cameras following this guy. So you need to make sure that you're on your A game, just like he's always on his AAA game, which is better than anybody else. You guys ready for this? Justin, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
How you guys doing today? Good. Thanks for having me out here today. I just wanted to come talk to you guys a little bit, talk about how important it is to be in school and reading and staying on top of your education. How many of you guys want to be a professional soccer player one day? A lot? Wow, that's a lot of hands. I can't even count that many hands. That's great. I'm here to tell you that we have something in common. Because one day, a long, long time ago, I was just like you. I was sitting in school and I was thinking, man, I would really like to be a professional soccer player one day. So how did I get to where I am today? I grew up in Shaker Heights, which is a city outside, just borders Cleveland, one of the suburbs that borders Cleveland proper, and really nice neighborhood. I decided that I wanted to go to Cleveland St. Ignatius, which is a college prep school. I think maybe It just had what I was looking for in terms of preparing me the right way for college. Did well in high school, won some state championships, got recruited to go to college at Notre Dame, played soccer at Notre Dame, and then I got drafted. I still remember the first time I stepped foot on the campus when I was going to become a freshman. The traditions there are incredibly strong. For example, the dorms have been around since the beginning of the school, you know, and each dorm has its own pride, its own traditions, and you feel like you have brothers and sisters when you go to that school. So in terms of the student body, it's very prideful, a lot of tradition, and then the soccer was amazing. All 4 years we were in the NCAA tournament. We lost my junior and senior year to the same team, Northwestern, a little bit earlier than I would have hoped. But my experience, I wouldn't change it for the world. I played with some great players. I got to play all over the country. I played against some great players and players that I'm still playing with in the league today. I think going to the schools, the elementary schools, and speaking about education and how important it is hits home with me because of all the schooling I did. You know, going to high school, going to college, getting my degree. I thought that was really important for my development and for my future, even when I'm done with soccer.
What's it like to play in the MLS?
What's it like to play in the MLS? Ooh, that's a great question. I get to travel all the time, and I get to go to really cool cities. I get to go to Chicago, LA, New York, and then when I'm there, I get to play in front of all these different people who want to watch me play. So it's very exciting to play, and I'm very happy I can do it. Well, guys, I hope you guys had a good time today. We did a lot of things. We answered some questions. We read a book. But most importantly, we talked about staying in school, and not only staying in school, but being really good and working really hard at your homework and your studying for tests to take your education seriously. So thank you guys.
We're gonna do this each and every week. We're gonna crown our top red, maybe a player, maybe a coach, but I don't know how you don't give it to Sebastian Giovinco. Everything he brings to the table, doesn't it seem like it's just a notch above?
What do you think about the move itself? I mean, he had to pick up everything from his country, come over here. It is a huge experience.
It is the hardest thing, I gotta tell you the honest truth, because you have to come here first, and then you have to worry about your place getting packed up and then going back over there and making sure that everything's settled.
Then he's gotta look at the apartment. Okay, left.
Just let them get settled here, a fully furnished apartment, maybe just bring over your clothes and focus on what you need to do here, and that's play soccer.
Sto in un paese dove la maggior parte è tutta di origine meridionale, quindi sono altri tipi di culture, altri modi di pensare. E non si può spiegare, non si possono spiegare le cose, secondo me è giusto viverle, che secondo me è la cosa migliore.
It has furniture, okay, for more money.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has still furniture.
Yes.
Purtroppo era altri tempi, altri periodi. Ho visitato poco, oppure massimo nei dintorni, vicino Torino, ma non lunghi viaggi, ecco.
Welcome. So, guest
Questa è la camera degli altri.
closet. I like this here. This side here. So you will be able to see the water when you wake up all along there. That's all the lake, all out there.
Ma la cosa più importante è il fatto della sicurezza della mia famiglia, e quindi ho tolto sicuramente quelli che potevano essere le mie priorità e ho pensato esclusivamente a loro.
Where did Seba? We lost you, Seba.
Bungee jumping. Ok. Sono abbastanza facile, io sono uno che si adatta abbastanza facilmente ovunque e quindi non ho trovato nessun tipo di problema.
The Trillium Cup is on the line for another season. Last year, the Reds won the cup by the largest margin in the history of the cup competition that they have. Is Columbus our biggest rival, though? Because I really don't. I get
It was a natural fit when Toronto SC came into the league. By the way, how good did it feel sweeping the Columbus Crew a season ago?
and the way they did it with Daniil Henry's header
Exactly.
at the death last year. So, but yeah, you're right. One of the benefits of going to Columbus is the fact that it will be a charter flight for the team as well. So the travel aspect will not be as tedious as it normally is.
Yep.
And that's something, not the biggest thing, but after you spend hours in an airport throughout a season, it's nice when you kind of just get in and get out.
And it's cold weather Columbus, but from what I've been told, I mean, they take care of their surface. So the conditions should be all right. It will be cold, less than ideal mid-March games in the capital of Ohio. But this is something, no excuses. Do you know what the big difference is as well? Is that these players have been brought in to start the season. We talk about this revolving door of players at Toronto SC. Usually we're sitting here in March saying, well, I wonder what players are going to come in during the summer. But this is the team, like this is the unit. There may be some small tweaks, some small changes, but overall there's stability heading into the season.
For us, there's a lot of guys that weren't here last year against that played in the games against Columbus, but you know, we've been growing as a team lately, and that's the important thing. I think the games against Columbus last year were exciting. I'd imagine the game tomorrow is going to be exciting as well, but it's just great to get out there. Columbus is not my hometown, but I actually have a big connection here, a big history. I played lots of games on this training field, actually. Played with high school teams. I played college team against Columbus Crew. I played in Crew Stadium since high school, you know, so I have a lot of soccer history down here, and it's all been good.
He was quiet as a child, but he was always active and getting into things. You know, he's kind of tough to keep up with. You had to keep an eye on him as a little one, so he didn't get away from you.
Both my parents have been really influential in my life, and my dad, I think, has really been a role model all throughout my life because of his strength and pretty much all things that he does.
Just passion. You know, kids, maybe their passion might wane off, but you know you have something special when that passion never wanes off and it just keeps going.
He's a true professional. I think he's a guy that I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he is and how diligent he is in working out and taking care of his body and being someone that makes sure their career goes in the right path.
That's an expensive camera, man. You don't want to ruin that one.
Every day, it doesn't matter if he has a knock or feels not good, you know you're going to get 110% out of him. And if he makes a mistake, he's always going to make up for it or he's going to have your back. And so as a teammate, I think he's a guy that just, like, for me, he really encourages me.
I think if you're TFC, if you come away with a point, it's a good result. I don't think it has to be a victory for the team to continue to move and progress in the right direction. And a real big challenge for both Perkis and Caldwell this weekend. I know Hagelin's still in the conversation as well. If you're going to talk about question marks coming out of week one, it's how the back line is going to hold up.
We'll have quite a few TFC supporters making the trip down to Columbus.
Good.
And it's always a good rivalry. I remember last year there was some incidents outside the stadium that always go down when two rivals play each other, but it's always fun.
Well, it's a 7-game road trip while the rebuilding continues in Toronto. It's not ideal, let's face facts, but a road trip has to be embraced and perhaps endured by this Toronto team.
Yeah, it's always difficult playing on the road in Major League Soccer, but it was a great start to the season. Getting those 3 points in Vancouver was crucial, and obviously tonight will be another tough test.
We have 500 supporters coming down, and our objective is to shake up Columbus. It's to support our club and to get a big 3 points in Columbus, bring it home to Toronto.
We're told at least half a dozen coach loads have made the trip down from Toronto following this team. Somewhere around about 500 fans, maybe a few more, maybe a few less.
Good fan base. Like, there's what we have here, about 4 or 5 busloads of fans come down to Columbus for this trip, and I remember when I did go on a trip to see the Impact, there was about like 10 of us that came down. So the fans are very dedicated, and I guess they support their team through ups and all downs, and whatever the case is.
This year it's a bit harder for them. They're starting they're on the road, so it's just to show support that their fans are there with them, and it's fun. This is an experience.
You stand for the team, you have everyone behind you. And we stand as a city, we stand as a country.
Every game to me when I was playing was a rivalry. I don't care who was up against. Obviously, with Columbus being such a close team, you want to start something where the fans could obviously make the trek and go and support their home team.
Decisions will be very clear. For when you step, or when Damien steps, or when Stevie steps into a space, if the distances are very clear, for us to close and get pressure will be obvious. The greater the distances, the tougher the decision of whether I should go or whether I should stay. Now, Josie, if you see him come over to your side, then try to force the play to go away from him, so that one of the center backs or one of the other players has to kind of make the play out of it.
At the absolute most, you're tucked in off of his shoulder, so if that winger is there, that you feel like you can see him, but you also are ready to get out to that outside back who's on your far shoulder.
There's balance, we've addressed that. The makeup is different, there's consistency there in terms of personnel and who's going to be here. A lot can happen, and I'm just judging this on paper. Like, who's better than them on paper?
I actually happen to think that TFC has a great team this year. I mean, from the game in Vancouver, there's nothing left but to be desired. The team played great in Vancouver. They showed that they could click when it mattered. Guys like Josie Altidore look fearless in front of net. Giovinco's hold-up play has been incredible. I have big expectations for today. I hope the team wins, and I hope that the success continues past today.
Hello and welcome to the Marfray Stadium, week 2 of the 2015 Major League Soccer season.
Work together, we compete for each other, we trust each other, do what you guys do for 90 minutes, and the result will take care of itself. Enjoy yourselves and get them. Here we go. Pressure's on them, yeah? They're at home, they dropped the first one. Aggressive start.
Columbus Crew have a very formidable home record in home openers. 5 wins, 5 ties in the last 10 years. The referee tonight is Canadian Dave Gantar from Edmonton, Alberta. Trillium Cup rivalry resumes, with the Crew looking to mark their home opener with a victory. The visitors aiming to start the campaign with back-to-back. Finley rising with Pogatetz. No call. Finley, down he goes. Now what's the referee going to give here?
That's a decision that the referee is going to consult with his linesmen.
What happens next? Absolutely nobody knows. Now, is there a card coming out here? It is red. Well, Morrow is making his way to the tunnel. And that is the half-time whistle, so just about the last action of an entertaining, drama-filled and controversial first half. There's no shortage of action. It finishes 10 against 11, but it also finishes, Greg, no score at the break. Just 8 or 9 minutes, and Tough night for Giovinco and the attacking players, certainly in the second half. Dave Gantar will blow his final whistle. So week 2 of the 2015 MLS season is in the books for Toronto FC. Columbus Crew continue their fine home opening record. They have beaten Toronto FC, Greg, by 2-0.
Yeah, and Toronto FC, they're going to feel they've been hard done by there with that call at the end of the first half. But you know, let's face it, they're defending the second half. Why they're able to box this one good enough, and that's such an important piece. The birth of us under Christmas trees.
Wasn't perfect for us in the first half. We had a few chances based off of some things early on. We needed to adjust a little bit defensively just to close them down a little bit earlier and a little bit better. But then the game gets redefined at halftime, you know, just before halftime. And, you know, I would like for us to give it a little run there. But at the end of the day, for sure, playing a man down in Columbus against a good team it doesn't define the season or anything. It's just a speed bump, and we move on and we continue to get better and move forward as a team.
Whatever, it's a difference in judgment from the ref. I thought it was a poor judgment, but you move on. I just feel bad for the fans, you know, that traveled down that far from Toronto and that got to see the game in Columbus, and you know, the game didn't go so well after that, and so the ref influenced the game in a big way, and so it was difficult to handle in that way.
Well, obviously it's disappointing that you didn't win, but sometimes when you're standing with the crew that we were standing with today, it's a little bit hard to notice the minute by minute of the game. But I think the team in general is definitely a step above what it was last season.
I think they're trying to figure out things still, to tell you the truth. 2 games, a short preseason, a bunch of new players, 5 new starting players. It's going to take some time before you realize how to play to their strengths. And not just that, 7 games on the road. You play different
It's a lot.
on the road than you do at home.
Consider that we have played in 2 home openers already now. I think going forward, this is a good thing for the squad as well, because I think you battle hardened. You learn a lot about yourselves when you're in situations where everyone is against you.
Are we going to do our top red of the week?
We should, and I'll go first.
Okay.
I think Sebastian Giovinco was the top red of the week. It's evident that he is a top class player in this league,
Totally.
and it's not far-fetched to say that at all.
I'm going to go in a different direction. I want to give an honorary top red shout out to the traveling support, because they were that good. They were that good.
Toronto FC has the best supporters in the league, and we're coming to retake our crown as the best supporters. I think we show that tonight, and once you get us back into the stands, you're going to see there's nobody better than us.
The road support from the TFC fans in Columbus was amazing, and they were on TV, they were audible, in the stadium they were audible. It was amazing.
Coming soon on All for One.
First off, it's good to be home, back inside BMO Field.
Finally, they have concluded that lengthy 7-game road trip, and 9 points ain't so bad now, is it?
How are you doing? I'm Stephen. I've got some bonus stuff for you, some season tickets for you guys. 2 posts.
You cost yourself a goal.
It's an unbelievable experience to play in front of your home fans. There's nothing like it.